Hello. Hello, and welcome to another Mr. Beats Bike video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're having a very laid back sort of overhaul, getting ready for sort of everyday use, whatever that means, of a Sony SL-HF950. So you might remember this one from the real issue. It's a real issue video, and came out recently. And there are quite a few things we need to do to make this reliable, get it up and running properly. But reliability is the main thing, and also some cosmetic bits and pieces as well. So the plan is, first of all, I'm going to take this back panel off, and the reason I'm doing that is down here there's a big dent, so I'm going to try and take that dent out. The best way to do that is to take the whole back off. Taking the back off makes getting the power supply out just that tiny bit easier. I mean, it's sort of how it'll all work out anyway, to be fair. So we'll change the two caps in there. Then we'll move on to removing all the black pads that cause component rot and all sorts of weird, wonderful problems on the SS board and anywhere else we find them, really. And finally, we'll do the upper drum, which I might not actually show doing, because I've got a dedicated video for that. And I'll, if I think about it, I'll put a card. But otherwise, it'll be in the description. So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, let's crack on. Interesting thing about it, you might remember that the screws in the bottom of the reel table assembly were all wrong, and it seems that one of the screws that was in the reel table had actually come from the power supply, one of the power supply mounts. So there's a screw missing, which is quite interesting, really. The other thing I am thinking as I'm doing this is whether I should take the bottom off first, which might not be a bad idea, but let's see how we get on. And take the bottom panel off afterwards if need be. But I have a feeling I might have to do it because of the panel here. All these screws are the same. Oh, that wasn't really held in. So I have to investigate that. RF, I think these screws are a little bit different. I think they're a bit shorter. No, they're the same. So all these screws are the same, which is nice to know. We've got the, have to see what they're like. The audio in, out. I'll clean all these as well. That's the other thing we will do as well, is to strengthen up the in-out video connectors. These do have SCART, although it's not quite full SCART with the control side of things. So if you put it on a TV that understands SCART signals, I'll take that screw out, although we don't need to. This doesn't have that capability. It's just literally in out, pretty much. I don't think it has. I don't know whether it takes out the circs side of things. Will all of this just come off? Yes, it will. Nice. So there we go. And you can see the damage there. So I'll try and straighten that out, and yeah, we'll take it from there. You see there, it's a little bit unhappy. So yeah, I'll have a go at that now. Okay, so I've been cleaning up. I haven't finished doing that back panel yet, but taken one more screw out this side, get the power supply out. Let's put off all the connectors as well. And so they're all unique, so you don't have to worry about marking them up. Power supply, and you sort of know the drill with these. I've done these a few times now on the channel. Both boards have to come out. Put the power supply screws there. So that's a long one. Goes in there. That's a short one. Goes in there. Then we've got a short threaded one there, and I think this should come out. Oh, there's one more. Nearly forgot. One more for that board, and there's one more for the actual power supply can. That's a short one. I think this is a short as well, but we'll see. Yeah, I think that's actually long. Yeah, that's a long one. When I put this together, I always seem to manage to get the screws in a different order to how they came out. So there we go. That's out. Quite a lot of dust in there, but clean that off. Then it's got a fair bit of dust on the outside. So what I do with this is I just lift it up enough just to get that out, but it makes it much easier to sort of put it back when you put it back together. So screw out. Don't have to take the end of the can off. Short screw. I'm just doing this so I remember, because I'm terrible at remembering. And there we go. And the caps I'll be changing are that one and that one. So 4.7, 10 microfarad, bipolar, don't fit polarized caps because things will not go well. Yeah, so I'll do that. Let's take the class 2 shielding off, clean all of that up. We'll also have some more, some fresh silicone grease on there, which I always get in my hands. I just seem to be drawn to silicone grease. Sections, and that all looks good, to be fair. With these caps, there are actually better replacements than putting electrolytic ones in there. Oh, something interesting's happened with that resistor. That's been getting a bit hot, isn't it? Oh, a couple of them. Oh no, it's just dust. Saying, gosh, they look really weird, but it's not. It's dust. How bizarre. Okay, so yeah, I'll change those two resistors and sorry, those two capacitors, and that'll ensure some reliability. I do sometimes change this one as well, but I tend to find they're fine anyway, so I'm happy to just carry on with that. Give it a dust out, and yeah, should be lovely. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is the upper drum. I'm going to do everything on the top first, and then everything underneath when we get that far. Sort of makes sense. So one thing I'm going to do as well, which I haven't mentioned, is the Hall effect device on the bottom of the head motor. That needs to be done. Oh gosh. And just cleaned up. And yes, we should be good to go then. Okay, so with this off, it's a good opportunity just to check the rotary transformers. The top ones are for the AFM, and they look good. There've been quite a few discussions back and forth via emails about the glue that fails with age. And I have to say, I very seldom see any rotary transformers bad with UK machines and even European machines, to be fair. So I do wonder if humidity or maybe, I don't know, local weather, like with US machines, or whether, I don't know, glue is slightly different. I don't know, it's just weird. It's something I don't see very often, but let me know in the comments if you've seen bad glue on these transformers on European and UK machines, because it's just something I don't really see. I remember a while back seeing one machine with really bad glue. It's sort of gone really flaky and horrible, and the coils are dropping off. But it was easy because I just changed the transformers, but because I had scrap ones. But yeah, interesting. So drum-wise, I mean, actually, it's pretty good. There is still an air cushion there. There's quite a bit of wear at the very top edge. It's not uncommon, but I will resurface them anyway and give it a clean, and yeah, all should be good. Okay, so that's all done. Looking great. So I have done a video on how I do this, and if I remember, I will put a card up and I will link in the description to it as well. But it's a method that seems to work very well, and I do indeed have a machine that I resurface the upper drum on, and it's been used quite a bit and it's working well, so I'm happy that my method seems to be good. So let's get this back together. long screws for the upper drum, short screws for the guides. Okay, so putting this back on, one of these actually slipped out, one of the sprung guides, and I don't know why I always find them such a fiddle to get back. Yeah, I also managed to lose a spring once off as well. I don't know. Yeah, I just always find them really fiddly to get back together, and it's so much so that I've actually, before now, I've just not bothered and just found another one off a scrap deck, because I have enough of them about. Well, I did, I don't so much now, to actually just replace it. But anyway, that's it, that's done. Short screws. Let's put the cover back on. The fan. Lovely. So that's done. So next thing I think will be the power supply. Okay, so power supply next. Let's get these 4.7 microfarad 10 volt caps out. Clean up the. I find a bit that isn't already used. Lovely. Come out. So they look okay. Sometimes you can get a bit of leakage on them, but oh, I don't know whether this is charged. Yeah, it's actually testing okay. Yeah, I mean, they're reading a bit high, but that's okay, I think. I've had a couple of these that haven't been great. Although I went through the whole batch. Yeah, see, they're reading 52, but the SR is good, so. I mean, this tester, how good is this tester? Ultimately, I mean, they're pretty good. But yeah, that's fine. As long as the ESR is nice and low, we're okay. So, I'm just going to fashion the legs a bit. Well, that didn't go well, did it? There we go. So what I'm trying to achieve is not straining where the leads actually enter the cap. So you don't want to do that. So, next thing I suppose is silicone grease. I need to give this a clean as well. Not nice. So yeah, do that next. Okay, so cleaned off all the old silicone grease, and I've also done the same in the can itself. Removed an awful lot of dust as well. We'll put some fresh grease on. And try not to get covered in it. So yeah, it's heat sink compound. I've had this years, and I don't know whether it does go off. Let me know in the comments if you know otherwise. But I have to say, every time I do this on a 950, the power supply seems to run just that little bit cooler with a good amount beautifully spread heatsink compound. I've also put plastic on. You must put this on. This is what gives it its class 2, i.e. ground classification. So if you don't have this, then in theory it is not compliant. So also cleaned pretty well inside. Still see there's a few bits in there. I've dusted it out as well, and there we go, covering myself. And well, I say there's rails. There is only a rail on, as you look at it, the right hand side. On the left hand side it just rests basically. I mean, you can see where it's gone in, but yeah, so get it in the rail on the right hand side and slide it in, and we should be good. Maybe. See, you always get it on you, doesn't matter what you do. There we go. And I've really done that very messily, I have to say. It's no sweat. Let's clean off where I've marked. It's going to be a little bit. But I think Sony's approach of putting just the right amount of silicone grease on, heatsink compound, I keep calling it silicone grease, it's silicone based heatsink compound. It keeps things nice and tidy, but it's just not quite enough to really get the heat away. So yeah, there we go. See there, because that does just float about, and we need some screws. So that's in. Let's check that one is nice and tight. The mains cable coming out there. Then we've got the main panel. These tend to be pretty reliable, to be fair. So I'm just literally going to put this back in, line it up with the PCB guide somehow. A bit of jiggling and it'll fit nicely. And put the 12 volts connector in. And like I say, a little bit of jiggling. This PCB on the back side needs to just fit in. And once you get that in, you can put the screw in here. Which probably, it didn't say an awful lot of that, but yeah. So see there, I've just got those two screws to put in, short screws. So that's it. That should be good to go back in. So it goes in that way, of course. Like so. So I'm just going to put the two mounting screws. So screw here. Remember, this is a screw that was removed and put in the bottom of the deck. And then we've got one screw around the side here. And that holds the power supply in. I'm not going to do it up too tight because I need to slide on the back cover. Connectors, like I say, they're all unique. So 3, we've got 5, 4, I think that's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 is 6. And we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I missed one. No. I think you're a different machine. So that's it. Power supply's done. Super. Now, next thing, the rear cover. I have another rear cover. I actually have a couple of these that I'm scrapping at the moment. So, well, I say scrapping, probably scrapping, but I'm happy to remove the back cover and yeah, just use them at this stage. And if I need to do a repair on them, on the broken ones, then I will, but I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it. So, replacement rear cover. This is off another machine. It's one I'm probably going to have to scrap, but I just think, well, let's put a decent back panel on this machine and worry about possibly straightening out the one that came off this machine at a later date. So you can see this also has a transit screws, which is great. Those will now be part of this machine. So somewhere near. I'm not too worried about getting it right with the bottom panel as such, because that's going to come off in a minute. So all self-tappers, all the same length. Okay, so I had a slight issue with this metal sub-assembly here, and how I'd put it in originally. I'd missed to locate it in these two tabs at the back, so it was pushing the back out. So, but with a bit of jiggling, I've actually got it to seat correctly. So that's fantastic. So let's get the RF in out modulator back in place. Now I've actually cleaned all the ins and outs, the AV side of it, but I didn't clean the RF modulator in and out. Not that anybody probably would use them. I mean, they can be very useful sometimes, but yeah. So there we go. That's quite a few jobs done. Okay, so time to do everything that needs doing underneath. So that includes the Hall effect, strengthening the rear sockets, and removing all those horrible black pads. Okay, so someone's been in here before. We've got screws missing. That's fine. I've got spares, so that's good. Hall effect, very, very gluey and horrible. So yeah, I think we'll do that first. So let's soak the glue first of all. And the amount of glue is amazing on this. I would suggest this is probably a fairly low hours machine, relatively. Again, just being careful not to get any on the actual coils, because the isopropyl will start to degrade the enamel, so I'm being a bit careful not to use too much. Which is why I soaked them. So I just want it in the local area. Well, I'm sort of getting there. Just using tweezers just to try and get as much glue off as possible. It is actually coming off quite well. I probably should go towards the sensor as well rather than put away, just in case it damages where the actual wires go into the sensor. But just getting in between as well, really making sure that everything is good. That's looking pretty good. This is pretty dry now, so it's just really removing the last bits of glue contamination. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I reckon we're good. Super! So next is strengthening the video in out sockets. I don't bother with the audio ones on 950s just because they tend to be very reliable. I mean, Sony do actually provide a tab, which is actually really good. will do the job and do it well. Let's trim off that last little bit. Brush. Lovely. Okay, so baseboard out. Soft tappers. Usual sort of short screws. So those. Yeah, we're not looking too bad from the top. There's one pad here. You see they've used hot glue. I probably will try and remove that part of it. Just so it doesn't cause issues. Screw down here. Very tidy machine. It's a good machine. The boards are shifted. Notice there's a stress line there. It's fine, but yes, there is a stress line. You see it more this side, but that is fine. Not ideal, but it is fine. And there's one on the top as well. We'll have a look at that in a bit. Move that out the way best we can. I'm doing this the wrong way really, because what I want is the SS board, and I don't know where you can see, there aren't actually, oh there's one, but there's a yellow pad, it's not black. That's the only pad on that panel. I should have done it from the top, and that's me being daft. Yeah, just I was working on another machine, I did it all from the bottom. But this is fine. It's probably why it's done so well. Oh, well that's good. I don't have to worry about black pads. Just that one that I need to do on what was it, here, and then yeah, we should be good to go. Okay, so that pad is out. It's all fine, there's no rot, so there's tiny bits sort of captive in the glue there, but that's fine, I'm not going to worry about that. So give it a quick dust and well, put the bottom cover back on, I suppose, and we'll check from the top. So, all back together. The back fascia for the in-out and the scars is back in place as well. I did have a slight issue that this wasn't sitting quite right, but there's a little bit of plastic, it's actually two bits, that sort of help support the jacks. And I've just had to remove a tiny bit of that just so it sits flush, just because it sort of slides over where that extra bit of wire I put in is. So yeah, that's all good, happy with that. And let's put the bottom cover back on. Also put those additional screws in. Dug those out from my stash. And yeah, I mean, it's a really tidy machine. Given its age, so just slide that on, slide it over, make sure all the screws are poking through as they should. Okay, so we're at the top level. This board also looks as if it's been removed, but we'll take it out or lift it up. 2 screws at the front, they are arrowed. Same short threaded screws. And again, we're looking for black. This must be quite a late machine, because this has no black. Bodgy pads. Sticky there, but that's fine. Well, that's really nice. There's another screw missing. So I'm going to borrow a screw and throw it into the machine. Oh, well done. I found it. Let's see if I can do it this time. There we go. Honestly, nothing like making work for yourself. Cabling here looks a little bit skew-if. Let's put the cable management sort of back where it should, somewhere near, isn't it? To be fair, I think that needs to come out, and then that goes over this. Well, to be fair, that one probably does go under there. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. Is that right? Just really so things don't get caught. So the rubber's good. Obviously no rot at all. This battery is still holding charge. It's fine. So to be fair, I'm going to leave it. For better or worse, part of me wants to cut it out, but it's working. So cool. So let's get that clipped back in. That wasn't actually clipped before. Let's move that resistor over, but yeah, that's clipped in. And yeah, let's get the screws back in and I suppose give it a try. Okay, so I think we're about there. I still need to sort of finish off doing a tape path cleanup, which I will do. You might have noticed that I missed these 2 screws here. They are now in, but so many screws missing from this machine. Not great. So I'm going to plug it in. Fingers crossed we'll be all good to go. Super. No squealing. That's good. Super. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, a bit noisy, but yeah, I'm happy with that. It all seems really very good. So yeah, I think what I'll do next is just give the actual deck a clean. Like I said, I've cleaned most of it, but I need to just do the pinch roller, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Okay, so trying to show any of this is not easy. I have the power off, and I am using a cotton bud, a Q-tip, which is not maybe the weapon of choice, but hopefully you can see that. And the crackling you can hear is the anti-static. It's pretty grubby. Let's get some fresh isopropyl. Do it from the front. Oh, it's not too bad, I have to say. And of course, the important thing with these is run on capstan. Capstan actually looks very clean. Very clean, but I will give that I'll rotate it and give it a good clean. Yes, so yeah, I'll do that next, and then we'll give it a try. Okay, so let's give it a go. Let's power it back up and grab a cassette. Oh, I'm so well prepared. I haven't got a cassette. Turn it on first. Well, the head still rotate, that's good. So they should be fine now. If I'm going to cause an issue, it would be straight away. You'd see it straight away. So, let's press play. So there we go. So nice. No tearing at all. Pause. Straighten on play. Oh, that's so nice. So it's forward advance, reverse, so it's the ×9, which is just scan forward really, ×2. It's a bit funny, but well. But the trick modes are pretty good. And still, so I did put the control on the back for lock. I'm just adjusting that. You can see the effect that has. So that's That's this control here, the vertical lock. You see the effect that has, just to get it so it's perfect. But yeah, that's really great. I'm totally chuffed. A really great machine. I suppose now all cleaned up, good to go. I regret doing this with this playing your tape. There we go. That's on. Perfect. So there we have it. That is a really great machine. Check the clock. Next. I know what's the time. It's actually midnight. +5. There we go. Clock set. Check those VU meters. MPX filter on. Line. So meters on. Lovely. It's nice to see original meters as well. You just can't beat them. When they work, they're great. So yeah, there we go. Turn them back off. Don't want to wear them out. So obviously a few cosmetics to sort out, but this is good. This is great. This is good to go now. And this will be going to a new home. Don't know where exactly yet, but yeah, what a great machine. And like I say, it's really low hours. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye for now.